Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building. As always, man, I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm on my way to go get it as always, man. I hope y'all doing the same. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We about to hit the mid 1900 mark, man, on the road to 2K, man. Shout out to the Nation and the Mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, let's talk about Jermall Charlo, man. It's a really unfortunate situation, man. And before I get this video started, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, men's mental health is a serious thing. You see what I mean? Men's mental health is something that needs to be spoken about more. You know what I mean? I think we need to stop disregarding the importance of, you know, having a healthy brain and really getting help when needed. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, with this situation that's currently going on with Jermall Charlo, this is the result of, you know, pent up emotions that's not being addressed. You know what I mean? Not taking the time to deal with your mental health, not taking the time to alleviate your stress. You feel what I mean? And going about things in a healthy way. And we're seeing the downfall of Jermall Charlo in front of our very eyes. And it's a very unfortunate situation, man, how the way he went from being on top of the world, essentially, in terms of being a world champion, being undefeated, being on the top of his division, to ultimately, you know, I'm not going to say meeting his demise because this story isn't done yet, but, you know, he's at a very low point in his life right now, and it seems like he went too far off in the deep end. You know what I mean? And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Jermall Charlo just recently got charged by the police with a driving while intoxicated charge, along with, you know, trying to drive off after an accident and stuff like that. So it seems like the alcohol problems are being a consistent theme with Jermall Charlo at this point in time. And we've seen it happen with multiple fighters and shit like that, whether we talking about Adrian Broner's probably the most famous example. But, you know, we just seen David Morrell out here acting a fool, being drunk. David Benavidez, you know, slurring his words while he's doing interviews at fights. It seems like alcohol is a consistent theme with these boxers, man. You see what I mean? But that's a totally different discussion. Let's stick to Jermall Charlo. You know what I mean? Like I said, he got caught with I think he got caught driving while intoxicated. You know what I mean? I believe, based off of the charges that I've seen, that he tried to flee from a car accident and shit like that, man. And Jermall Charlo, just based off of his mugshot, you know, just based off how the way this man looks, man, he doesn't look like he's in a sound place mentally, bro. I'm sorry to say it, but he looks down bad. This is probably the worst that I've ever seen Jermall Charlo. And if you've been following Jermall Charlo's journey and exactly what he's been going through, man, he's been unfortunately dealing with some real serious issues in terms of his family. You know what I mean? More specifically, based off of what I've been seeing, he's been having some trouble mending the relationship with his wife and shit like that. You know what I mean? His wife is his high school sweetheart, and this is all public information. I'm not leaking anything that people already don't know. Like, I remember seeing like little episodes about Jermall Charlo, and he was talking about, you know, marrying his high school sweetheart. She the love of his life. They got kids together, but we've also seen videos of them getting into, like, you know, very toxic situations where, like, he's parked up and he's trying to get his kids or whatever, and you know, she over here like damaging his car and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you know, it's so the situation is so toxic to the point where his brother wants nothing to do with him. Jermall Charlo wants nothing to do with that man. Jermall Charlo's wife fighting Jermall Charlo's wife. It's a very negative, very toxic situation, and as a result, we've been seeing Jermall Charlo crumble. You see what I mean? From what I understand, he's had some legal issues to attend to as well as a result of getting into it with his wife. You know, it's just sad. You know what I mean? I don't really want to get into every single situation that I've heard of, because I've also heard things behind the scenes. But, you know, he's been going through it with his wife, and, you know, me personally, I've been through this. You know what I mean? Just recently, ever since the birth of my son, I've been dealing with certain obstacles. You know, some of the things my fault. You know, other things is just, you know, I don't really know how to particularly say it without giving out too much information. But nonetheless, it's just very unfortunate situations that's very stressful, highly stressful. And when you're somebody like Jermall Charlo, who pretty much is involved in a you know, a very violent sport, you know what I mean, a highly successful man, it seems like all of the problems seem to magnify. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the exact word, but, you know, it seems like everybody being involved in your business and everybody knows of your business, and that could just intensify your stress levels. You see what I mean? And I feel like, in all honesty, Jermall Charlo has been resorting to liquor to deal with the problems that he's currently got going on in his life. And like I said, I've been through this, man. So I know how stressful these situations could be, how toxic the situations could be, and how it could ultimately, you know, destroy you as a person. You see what I mean? If you're not attending to your mental health correctly. You see what I mean? Fortunately, I got good people around me that, you know, listen to me and give me advice and, you know, come from an understanding point of view, because in all honesty, if I didn't have a good support system, if I didn't have the right people to talk to, I probably would have spiraled out of control just like Jermall Charlo. You see what I mean? This could happen to anybody. This could really happen to anybody. Let's be clear. You see what I mean? This isn't something that, you know, is specifically happening with Jermall Charlo and it's a rare case. No, this happens to men all over. You know what I mean? Especially when dealing with a woman that you have kids with or have some type of deep relationship with. Things could go bad within a blink of an eye. You see what I mean? And this is what's going on with Jermall Charlo. But unfortunately, you know, there's some things that he hasn't been attending to. You know, he's not making sure that his brain is okay. He's not making sure that, you know, he's speaking to people, that he's not alleviating his stress to the best of his ability. I've seen him make attempts. He was trying to get these things situated. I've seen him go to Florida with Roy Jones and, you know, fishing and, you know what I'm saying, doing these types of things, and, you know, being transparent with the media with exactly what he's going through and stuff like that. But it seems like after his fight with Jose Benavidez, you know, he went right back to the same shit. It's almost like a relapse or something like that. You see what I mean? And, you know, you see him drinking out, and he's on vacation with his wife and whatever. I don't even know what the situation is. I don't know if they're divorced. I don't know. But I know that he's back dealing with her. And I see him out in Turks and Caicos, and he's drinking, which is something that he should not be resorting to. But nonetheless, he's doing it, and nobody over there is checking him. You know what I mean? Or at least they're not able to check him. I don't know exactly. I don't know if he listens to them or what. But, you know, he's resorting back to the drinking. And then he's doing interviews with, what's that white dude that be doing the streaming. I forgot, damn. But nonetheless, he called him, like, begging him for a commentary job and was asking to get paid and shit like that. Aiden Ross. He called Aiden Ross clearly drunk and was, like, asking for an opportunity to commentate one of his boxing events and shit like that. Then he's coming around and he's doing interviews with people talking about he wants to retire and that there's nothing, he doesn't look forward to boxing anymore and shit like that. So you could just tell that mentally he's off the deep end, man. You see what I mean? And at this point in time, man, we can't control. We could say everything. We could make this video right here, and, you know, we could pray for Jermall Charlo and shit like that. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know if that's particularly going to help him. So what we can do as people, you know what I mean? We want to stop this cycle from happening. You feel what I mean? We want to stop this from happening, and we should look at this as a learning lesson. You feel what I mean? This should be something that should be watched by young up-and-coming fighters to not to see what not to do. You feel me? Because I'm the type person, and thank God I've had this great quality throughout the course of my life. I'll see people step in shit, and I know not to step in it. You see what I mean? Like, I grew up around alcoholics. I never touched alcohol. I've never been drunk in my life. You see what I mean? I've seen drug addicts. I never touched a drug in my life. I was accustomed to being around dope fiends growing up. You see what I mean? I knew never to touch a drug. I knew to never touch a cigarette. I see my mom smoke cigarettes. I seen the effect that it'll have. You see what I mean? I've seen people resort to crack and every drug you could think of, bro. I knew not to get in that situation. I seen the effects of being a part of the streets, selling drugs and shit like that, and how, you know, they be on the corner one day and then they be gone the next day, or they be gone for 5 years and come back to the corner. I knew that was a life that I didn't want to live. You see what I mean? So I think that this should be something that could be a learning lesson to everybody. And, you know, to get more specific, boxers that's on the come up, man. If you're able to avoid alcohol, I mean, you can. Everybody can avoid alcohol. Even if you see people around, you have to build the mental fortitude necessary to get up off of that. You see what I mean? Understand that that's bad for you. It's not good for your career. If you're looking to create generational wealth, alcohol could pretty much stop that from being a real thing. You see what I mean? So if you wanna know maximize your potential to the best of your ability, if you wanna live the most stress-free, not stress-free, but like, if you wanna avoid as much trouble as possible, then you need to do what's necessary to put yourself in the best situation possible. And one of the best steps to take, in all honesty, is to leave the fucking liquor alone, man, because you can see what happened with Adrian Broner. He pretty much ruined his career because he couldn't put the bottle down and he couldn't stop partying and shit like that. You see what I mean? So let this be a learning lesson to everybody on here, man. Take care of your mental health, man. I hope, I'm being optimistic right now. I hope that Jermall Charlo is able to, find a way to, overcome these demons, overcome this addiction, because that's what it is at this point in time, man. You see what I mean? They've asked him in the past if he was a big drinker and he refused to admit to it. So that lets you know that he's having a hard time coming to grips that he has an addiction. You see what I mean? And until he decides that he has an actual problem and he's looking to fix it, then these things aren't going to consistently happen. You see what I mean? I'm glad it looks like Adrian Broner's in a good place, mentally. I seen him at the Tank press conference and shit like that. It looked like everything, he looks like he's in a good place, doesn't look bent, out of shape or anything like that. He looks like he's doing well, I don't know exactly how he's doing, but based off of, the eye test, based off of what I'm seeing, it looks like he's okay, but, hopefully he stays on that track because he has a history of relapsing. It looks like Jermall Charlo has a history of relapsing as well. So, take care of your mental health, y'all. Learn from people that came before you so you could avoid troubles in the future, because life is short, man. Life is short. I just turned 26. I can't believe it. You see what I mean? And next thing you know, I'll be 30 years old. And the numbers are going to continue to climb up. You know what I mean? God willing. You feel me? So, you got a short life, man. Make the most out of it. Try to put yourself in the best situation possible to live a long, healthy, stress-free life. Stress is going to come. That's part of life. That's part of, being a man. That's part of being a human, point blank, period. But there's ways to go about it where, you're not resorting to liquor or drugs to, cope with the pain. You see what I mean? I hope Jermall Charlo bounces back from this situation. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of him, obviously. If you follow my channel, you know that. But, in terms of, men's mental health and just wanting to see people do well. Even if I'm not a fan of him, I still want to see him do well. I'm rooting for him. You know what I mean? I hope that in the WBC just took his title away from him, so he really doesn't have anything to lean on at this time. He pretty much has nothing. You know what I mean? They just moved Carlos Adames to the full status WBC champion. So let's see what goes on with Jermall Charlo. But, at the end of the day, the message of this video, man, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Speak your mind whenever you got some pent-up emotions, man. Find somebody that you can confide in and deal with your problems. Don't run away from them. You see what I mean? That's part of being a man. You know what I mean? You can't run from the pain. You got to go towards it. That's the only way you'll be able to overcome these obstacles in life, man. So that's my overall take on the situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this here. This is MazUma TV. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. I'm out of here, man. Peace.